Subscribe to Sonic Octaves Kids channel and press the bell icon to watch new cartoon videos. The name of the story is Power of Habit. Once upon a time, there was a potter. He had many donkeys. He used to take all those donkeys to bring soil every day from the morning until the evening. And then he would make pots out of that soil. On his way back, he used to take rest under a big tree. He used to tie all the donkeys to the trunk of the tree and then go to sleep for a while. One day, when he was coming back and as usual wanted to tie all his donkey to the trunk of the tree, he realized that he is one rope short to tie all donkeys to the tree. So he decided to take the donkey with him and keep an eye on him while he is resting. But unfortunately, donkey made so much of noise that Potter could not take enough sleep. By then, there was one villager who was passing by. He saw that the potter is trying to take some rest, but he could not because of the noises that the donkey made. So he went to that potter and said to him,
"Oh dear friend, I'll give you a trick. Just take the donkey to his normal place and just pretend to tie a knot around him and around the tree."
The potter did not really believe the villager's words. But then he thought of giving it a try, so he took the donkey near to the trunk and pretended to tie a knot around donkey's neck and to the tree. He realized that the donkey was not moving. So he went back and slept for a while. After a while, he woke up and wanted to take all his donkeys back to his home. He untied all the donkeys and started walking. When he looked back, he saw that the donkey that he pretended to tie to the tree was not moving at all. So he went to the donkey and tried to take him away from that tree. But that donkey would not move. Coincidentally, the villager who gave this trick earlier was passing from there. As he saw the struggle of the potter, he went to him and said,
"Oh my friend, now that you pretended to tie him down and it has worked, now you have to pretend to untie the donkey. If you don't do that, he would not move from there."
So the potter again pretended to untie the donkey, and that worked like a magic. That donkey started walking with that potter again with all the other donkeys. So the moral of the story is, we are all tied by the habits. So if you want to inculcate good virtues in yourself, try to make them a habit. Once it becomes a habit, it becomes a part of your character. The name of the story is Clever Fish. One day, a fisherman was fishing to a river as usual. He threw his net into the river and he just sat waiting there for fish to get in so that he could sell a lot of fish in the market and get some good money out of it. After some time, fisherman heard some rustle and bustle in the net. Thinking that he must have got a lot of fish in the net, he actually took out the net out of water. But then, to his dismay, he saw just one tiny little fish in that net. He grabbed hold of that fish, but then suddenly the fish started talking to him. Tiny little fish said to the fisherman,
"Oh, fisherman, please, please, leave me. Please leave me. Otherwise, I will die. I will die out of water."
But fisherman did not give any attention to the request of the fish. But then, again, that tiny little fish said to the fisherman,
"Oh, fisherman, I will tell you something which is of your help. If you leave me back in water, I will tell all my friends about you and I will bring them near to the bank of river so that when you come next time, you will have much more fish."
Fisherman thought to himself,
Wow! That's not a bad deal at all.
he was thinking,
If I let go one tiny little fish today, tomorrow I will get a lot of more fish because this tiny little fish will bring all his friends to me.
believing the word of this tiny little fish, fisherman let go this tiny little fish into the river again. This tiny little fish was really happy and it swam away happily into the river, never to come back. Poor fisherman. He came next day expecting that there will be a lot of fish that this tiny little fish would bring. But that tiny little fish was very clever, and because of his cleverness, he saved his life from this fisherman. So, children, moral of the story is, you have to be really, really clever to save your life from such challenging moments.
Name of the story is Unity is Strength. Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a farmer. That farmer had 3 sons. They were always quarreling with one another. The farmer tried his level best to bring them to the right path, but they never listened to the farmer and heed his advice. So the farmer felt very worried, and he thought to himself,
How am I going to convince them that if they keep on quarreling, the others would take advantage of them? They have to be together.
One day, he thought of an idea. He called his sons and asked them to bring a few sticks. All 3 sons went around and brought some wooden sticks with them. When they brought those sticks, he tied them into one bundle, and he gave that bundle to each of the sons. He gave it to the first son and said,
My son, try all your strength and try to break it. Can you do it? Let me see.
First son said to his father,
"Oh, father, it is such a simple task. I will break that in 1 minute. You see?"
Farmer just smiled away. This first son tried all his strength and power to break the bundle of sticks. But he could not break it at all. Being tired, he gave that bundle back to the farmer. Now, the farmer went to the second son and said,
Son, can you try to break the bundle now?
The son said to his father,
"Oh, father, this is so easy. I will break this bundle in just a moment."
Farmer smiled again, and he watched as his second son struggled to break the bundle into pieces. After a while, When the second son realized that he could not break the bundle, he gave it back to the farmer. Now it was time for the third son. Farmer went to his third son and said,
Oh son, can you take a shot at breaking this bundle? Your other two brothers could not break it.
The third son said to his father,
Oh, father, it is so obvious. They could not break it because they are weak. I am so strong. I will break that bundle in a snap of a second.
Farmer smiled again. And as he watched the third son again struggling to break the bundle, he realized that his message is going to get across soon. As the third son could not break the bundle, he gave the bundle back to his father. Now, this time, father broke the bundle and gave one stick each to those three sons and said,
Okay, you tried the bundle. Now can you break the stick?
And before even he finished his sentence, all three sons of the farmer broke the stick immediately. Farmer looked at all three sons. By now, even all three of them realized what their father was telling them. They realized that if they keep on quarreling, they will be not united and anybody can break them and take advantage of them. But if they unite and work together, they will be so strong like bundle of the sticks that nobody can break their unity and they will always prosper. The moral of the story is, be united and you will emerge as unbreakable.
The name of the story is The Mountain and the Mouse.
Once upon a time, there was a range of big mountains. The mountains were so big that they appeared to touch the clouds. The mountain range had lot of peaks. Those mountains looked strong and mighty from the distance. The mountain had the pride of its size and the might. One day, there was one mouse which was moving around here and there. By looking at the mouse, Mountain chuckled and he said to the mouse,
Oh, tiny mouse, what are you doing just moving here and there? You small creature, what are you doing here?
The mouse said,
Oh, Mountain, I am just digging the hole for my family to live.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. You know what? You are such a small creature. How can you build anything? Look at me. How big I am. Nobody can touch me. Nobody can force me. No wind can move me. No force can do anything to me. Oh, I'm so mighty. Oh, I'm so strong. And look at you. You are so small, you cannot do anything.
Listening to Mountain saying this, Mouse chuckled. When Mountain saw the mouse chuckling, it asked the mouse,
Oh, mouse, you are so small compared to my size. And when I'm telling you something, why are you laughing? Don't laugh in front of me. You know how strong I am. I can just kill you in one moment.
Mouse said.
Oh, Mountain, you are very proud of your size, huh? But tell me one thing. If you are so strong and if you are so mighty, how it is that you cannot do anything when I dig a small hole near your foot? Can you close that? Can you stop me digging a hole at your foot?
Listening to this answer, Mountain started thinking. He thought, yeah, nobody can move him and he is so strong. But yes, he is not able to stop the mouse from digging the small holes in the mountain. Then he said to the mouse,
Ho, 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 ho. Although you can make the holes, I can close those holes in 1 minute.
the mouse said,
Oh, Mountain, you don't know. If I make thousands and thousands of such holes in you, you will just collapse and there will be no mountain.
The mountain laughed at him and he said,
Ho, 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 ho. It is not possible. Show me what you can do.
Then Mouse called lot of his friends and they started digging holes into the mountain. They dug so many holes in the mountain that one part of the mountain started sliding and collapsing. Looking at this, Mountain got frightened. That is when he came back to Mouse and said,
Oh, Mouse, I have realized that what you are saying is correct. Please forgive me. I was very proud of my size and my strength. I never thought that even a small mouse can destroy me. I am very sorry.
From that day onwards, Mountain and Mouse became friends. Then Mouse lived in that mountain with family thereafter. Moral of the story: that tiny things also have their own strength.
The name of the story is The Wise Cock and the Wicked Jackal.
Once upon a time, there was a village. A cock lived in that village. That cock was very dutiful. He would get up much before the sunrise and shout, which would wake the villagers up so that they can get up and start their day. This way, this wise cock helped the community all days. One day, this cock was resting on the branch of a tree. From there, a wicked jackal was passing. He saw the cock on the tree and thought of an idea to lure him down and eat him away. So the fox looked up and said to the cock,
Oh, my dear cock, You seem to be so wise. You seem to be so handsome. You seem to have such a sweet voice. Oh, I would really like to make friendship with you.
The cock said,
Cock making friendship with Jackal? Is that possible? I know. This is your trick.
On that, the jackal said,
Oh dear cock. No, you are thinking very wrong. Actually, I just got a message from the heaven. And the message said that here onwards, all the animals and birds will stay together and they will have a very good friendship and they will live together happily and peacefully. And so, I'm inviting you to just be friends with me. Why don't you come down?
the cock was surprised, and he said,
The message from the heaven, huh? Okay. Let me think.
So the cock started thinking about what Jackal had in his mind. And then he realized that Jackal was telling him a lie. He realized that Jackal wanted to eat him. So this wise cock made a trick. He said,
Oh, Jackal, I don't mind coming down and making friendship with you. But I am also waiting for another friend of mine.
The jackal was surprised. He asked the cock, Friend? Who's your friend? The cock said,
I have 2 hound friends. I'm just waiting for them. We all can stay together and we all can be friends.
The moment Jackal heard about the hounds, he got scared and he started running away. When Cock saw Jackal running, he asked him,
Oh, Jackal, why are you running?
Jackal, while running away, replied to him, Oh, hounds! Oh, hounds! I do not want to stay with them. Oh, I cannot do friendship with them. No hounds as a friend. Listening to this answer, Cock said to the jackal,
Oh, Jackal, you are the one who said that you had a message from heaven that all animals and birds will stay together. What happened to that message?
While running away, Jackal only could answer the cock, saying, I think I misinterpreted the message. I think it is to say all animals should stay separately and peacefully. Now I'm going away. Tell the hounds I don't want their friendship. No friendship with hounds. No friendship with hounds. No friendship with hounds. Jackal went away, and that's the way Cock saved his life. Moral of the story: be wise to take action on any advice from anybody.
The name of the story is A Snake and a Farmer. Vishnu Pratap was a farmer, lived in a small town with his family. He worked hard all day in the farm, but he was not able to earn a lot of money. His life was difficult and he was really poor. One day, as he was moving around his farm, he noticed a snake under the tree with raised hood sitting on a nearby mound. He thought that the snake was some local deity and he never worshipped that snake. And maybe, perhaps, that was the reason that he was poor. So he immediately went and brought a bowl of milk and put it in front of the snake. He requested the snake to accept his offerings and sought his blessings. He also apologized that he did not recognize his divinity earlier. Placing the milk there, he went back to work. When he came back in the evening, he found to his surprise that there was a gold coin in the bowl of milk. Now, he realized that the snake has blessed him. So then, it became his daily routine to bring a bowl of milk and offer it to that snake. Every day, when he came back from work, he would find a gold coin in that bowl. That way, after selling that gold coin in market, soon he became rich. One day, Vishnu Pratap had to go to a nearby town for some work. So, he gave his son his job of offering milk to that snake. His son also offered a bowl of milk every day to that snake and brought home one gold coin every day. But then soon he became greedy and he thought to himself, "Oh, that snake must be taking out the gold coin from that mound. Why don't I just dig that mound and take all the gold coins at once?" So next day, as he approached that snake, he tried to kill that snake and tried to dig into that mound. But the snake escaped from there. Next day, when Vishnu Pratap came back to his home, and after understanding this incident, he reprimanded his son for his wrong deed. He went back to his farm to the snake and he requested that snake to forgive his son's deed. The snake initially did not accept Vishnu Pratap's request. But later on, snake forgave Vishnu Pratap and their friendship continued. However, from that day onwards, he did not give gold coin to Vishnu Pratap as a punishment for the wrong doings. So, the moral of the story is never be greedy and be happy with whatever you have in your life.
The name of the story is The Bull and the Frog.
Long, long time ago, there was a jungle. In the jungle, there was one beautiful pond. The pond was surrounded by a lot of different trees, flowers, and beautiful scenery. There lived a lot of frog families around the pond. One day, a bull came up to the pond to drink some water. After drinking water, the bull bellowed loudly. On hearing this sound, they got scared and they ran away hurriedly. The grandpa frog of the family asked the small frogs,
Drow! Drow! Oh, children, why are you so hurried and worried? What happened?
One little frog croaked in a feeble voice and said,
Grandpa,
Grandpa, we saw a big animal in the pond. Oh, he was very, very big. Oh, he sounded so loud.
On listening to them, the Grandpa Frog got proud. He thought to himself,
Let me show my capability to these small frogs.
so he said to the small frogs,
Drown! Drown! Oh, that animal is nothing. I can be bigger than that.
The Grandpa Frog did not know that the small frog saw the bull. So, he actually expanded his body and asked the small frogs,
Is this how big the animal was?
The small frog said,
No, no, Grandpa, it was bigger. No, no, Grandpa, it was much, much bigger.
The Grandpa puffed himself still bigger. And he grew and grew and grew like a balloon. But the small frogs kept on saying,
No, no, Grandpa, it was much bigger. No, no, Grandpa, it was much, much bigger. You are still very small.
Listening to those small frogs, Grandpa's pride took a challenge. He kept on puffing himself. He kept on growing himself up to a point where he cannot be puffed more than what he could. He asked then,
Now you tell. Is this how big the animal was?
the small frogs told him,
No, Grandpa, it was much bigger, much bigger, much bigger than what you are.
Ultimately, Grandpa could not take this challenge. He puffed one more time and his lungs and his body burst like a balloon into pieces. He could not grow more. It was a sad end of the Grandpa Frog. So what is the moral of the story? Vanity is foolishness. The name of the story is The Crab and the Fox. Once upon a time, there lived a crab in a river. As you all know, river or water is crab's natural home. But this crab was always complaining. He always complained,
Oh, I have to live in this water. I cannot go on the ground. There is so much of beautiful lush green grass and flowers on the ground. Oh, why do I have to always live in water? Oh, I want to enjoy all that life on the ground.
so he will never be happy and always complain about his current situation. One day, he decides to come out of water and enjoy all the beauty on the ground. So, as he moves around on the ground, he enjoys the lush green grass, smell of the flower, but that only for a while. Because all of a sudden, there comes a fox. He gets the sight of this crab and gets very happy because he always wanted to eat the crab for his meal but never could get into water to get and kill one crab. Now here is the crab ready-made available for the fox to eat. So the fox did not even waste a moment, grabbed the crab. As he was about to eat the crab said to himself,
Oh, I made such a big mistake coming out of water. I could have been saved if I would have been in the water. Fox could never come to me. Oh, I'm so foolish to come on the ground.
but it was too late. Fox enjoyed the beautiful meat of the crab and went away happily. Moral of the story: never complain about your current surroundings or situation. Maybe that is the best place for you to be. The name of the story is Clever Snake and Foolish Crow. Once upon a time, a crow was flying hither and thither in search of food. The winter season was at its height and cool north wind was blowing. Crow was flying calmly in that cool breeze. He became hungry and suddenly he saw a snake laying on the ground, curled up and not moving at all. Actually, the snake was sunbathing due to the extreme cold and it lay quiet and motionless on the ground. Seeing the snake not moving at all, the crow thought to himself,
Oh, I found good food for me. I'm going to eat the snake today. What a yummy meal!
so he swooped down and carried it away in his claws. He decided to fly and take the snake where he could make it into pieces and eat it all away. He did not want any share from any other crow or bird. But snake was very sharp. It knew that the crow was on its back and crow is going to take it away. But it did not move and allow the crow to come closer. And as the crow was about to take a bite, the snake raised up its head and threw a spray of poison on crow's face. The snake was very poisonous, and the spray of this poison proved to be fatal, and crow died instantly. Crow said,
How fool I am. I believed the deception of this snake and believed that the snake was dead. Oh, I should have thought.
So now, instead of snake becoming the prey of crow, actually, crow became the prey. The moral of the story is appearance can be deceptive, and be alert to know the truth.
The name of the story is Effect of True Care. Once upon a time, there was a village. In that village, there lived a farmer called Mahadu. Mahadu had a cow which gave him lots of milk. He sold that milk and he became quite rich. Unfortunately, once that cow fell ill and she stopped giving milk to Mahadu. Mahadu thought that the cow will never recover from her illness and he left her in the dense forest. Cow, because of her nature, returned back to Mahadu's place. But then Mahadu drove her away by giving her severe beating. The cow was sad. She was wandering around in the village. By then, Chandu, another farmer in that village, saw this cow. When he saw that cow, he realized that she was beaten and driven away by somebody. Chandu brought that cow to his home and gave her food and the medicines for her wounds. Gradually, that cow started recovering. Chandu took good care of that cow, and so she became healthy again. After a few days, that cow gave birth to a beautiful calf. And as she gave birth to that calf, she started giving milk again. Chandu, after keeping enough milk for the calf, started selling the remaining milk in the market. That way, he started getting some money as well. As the days passed, he kept on selling milk in the market and he also became rich. Soon, Mahadu realized that Chandu was making money from the cow that he drove away. So, he came back to Chandu and said,
Oh Chandu, you know, this is my cow. It was with me for a while. So give that back to me.
On that, Chandu said,
Oh Mahadu, I know that you drove this cow away after beating her severely. I was the one who brought her back, gave her food, gave her love, gave her care, and now she is healthy. You want my cow back? No, I'm not going to give it to you.
Mahadu took this case to the Gram Panchayat of that village. The judges of the Panchayat called in for both Mahadu and Chandu. And also they told Chandu to bring the cow along. As Mahadu and Chandu stood in front of the Panchayat, the judges told that it is very difficult to decide on this case because technically both were the owners of the cow. So they decided on a trick. They said, let that cow decide whom she wants to be with. So they made Chandu and Mahadu stand a little far from each other and they released the cow from the rope. As the cow was released, she started going to Chandu. And as she reached out to Chandu, she started licking his hand and his feet. It appeared to all the villagers and the judges that she was very fond of Chandu. It was quite obvious then that the cow has to stay with Chandu because Chandu was the one who cared for her. So, the moral of the story is, if you give care and love to others, it will always come back to you.